Rock Vaults. Other side,
Oh
BCJ rolling Thunder, get the site with that, put down Aaron's Viper's Pit in towards the post plant, and you have a potent chance at around here is early on, they will just hold for aggression that is to come. Ethan on a walk up here.
He forced to back away, doesn't want to play as aggressively inside the Nebula smoke as we saw Xset doing on their defensive side. Meanwhile, aggression out towards Arcade, gonna keep Zekin at base to a little too wary of what could come should he push forward.
Yeah,
BCJ,
he should come.
making sure that nobody's garnered this space in the sewers with Zekin being forced to back away. So a good start here for 100 Thieves. The next set, respectable. Nice flash, up and over the top, goes banging. I mean, this Spectre, this player just keeps continuing to find value. The desk said it. They called for answers, or they had questions, and Bang's got all the answers, right? How are you going to perform in game 2 after game 1? And it's perfectly. We go 1 for 1 across the map, so no harm. No foul, but this is a big round for Xset. They need to try and find a way to win this one, and the angle is going to be cleared. Rolling Thunder, but Ethan, rendezvous away. Now it's to fight through the wall and find the kill onto Cryo. What more can he find as that toxic screen should be subsiding here momentarily? And look at the backstab. JC Stani still inside tower, and all of the attention is bought out towards this generator's side. So once that spike gets planted, Stani can look to make a play. The pit is down, so it's a bit harder to push on through. The wall bang almost close out the kill onto BCJ, and there it is. Tower unchecked, unsuspected with JC Stani. Now 2 remain here with the pit down. They have to go Hughes in the 2v3. Inside the pit, the Viper will thrive. And Aaron to get it done. A tap onto the spike. The body starts to drop. Oh no, not like this. Now Bang has to get it done. The Rolling Thunder queued up here in the 1v1, but instead he looks to fight forward. Snake bite as he pushes up onto it. The decay is still coming through, and he's halfway here on the spike now, running out of time and running out of HP. His counterpart, though, the 1v1 right in front of him, is so healthy and so aware. It's Aaron to tie us up.
That 1v1 is so well played from Aaron. It was Zekin to get them to that point, but once he came down to the wire, Aaron realizes that there is that Rolling Thunder in play, so he retreats, falls all the way back to find a place where he would be unlikely to be ulted, then just lets the Viper's Pit fall. The damage was still done. It was late enough into the round, the breach had to be in the pit, so Bang found himself with only 1 HP to work with and an incredibly disadvantaged situation. That's a massive round for Xset to steal away, especially considering how it started off. 100 Thieves had some massive kills on towards the cross, but BCJ, his heroics in getting the spike down allowed him to convert on through. Still, money is available for 100 Thieves, and they still have some potent ultimates to work with, as Ethan will stand just on the crease of that door and just have an opportunity here against Zekin. Flash will bait him forward. Zekin spots him. This one a little dangerous, but it's just a dance for now. No damage done by the wreck.
Ethan, I mean, put in a tough spot, but refusing to let that door close. Just dancing back and forth. He eats a lot of damage, uses that rendezvous to get away. But at the end of the day, the trade won by Xset in way of damage. As they lean out towards the B site after all that commotion over an A. And it was 3 players stacked up per 100 Thieves. Now only 2 here on the B site. And will the showstopper can make sure that those 2 head for the hills.
Nice.
Seemingly not able to find anything as he sends that rocket out towards the dead body of Pico.
Xset might win this round.
Planted also.
You never know.
Courtesy of the breach of Xset, and now 100 Thieves are working against the clock. They've got a player. Low HP. Asuna, Bang, and JC Stani still healthy.
Ooh, nice.
Poison Cloud, no way. Cryo gets sniffed out, taken down. The decay is there, but the health will come back. The Rolling Thunder. Now to look to slow things down here in the post plant. Asuna pushes forward with an ult of his own, but up in towers where you gotta go, and that rocket just goes so scary in the close corners. Fights as Xset. They're starting to flood the kill feed red. JC Stani 3 HP in a dream as 1 remains. They need to try and find the kills, but it's Asuna.
And Asuna gets the win.
Spike to half, the spike to full, and 100 Thieves to 9.
Everything invested
Nice.
in that round for the side of 100 Thieves, but the gain's massive despite the heavy ult usage. That post plant to be denied. It was the Rolling Thunder initially to push everyone back so far. Then the wall, that Cosmic Divide just holds the line, and when you're on the right side of it, pretty easy to find these frags. JC Stani went big with his triple, and it just came down to a well-positioned 1 versus 1. Now, for the side of Xset, we have to start to think a little bit further on, because these post plants have been an issue for them in a few of these rounds. Their composition is strong at them, but 100 Thieves looking good, and Bang on the breach has been a big part of that. This man always seeming to find over performances on this map. I don't even know if overperformance is the right word, because at this point it's consistent, right? The power this man is finding when he plays this breach is impressive, to say the least. But Tour de Force gained, it might just be a setup for an A split here, as Cryo will go hunting for a frag.
Hiko has his ult. Could
And the weapons available, not the best, but when you think about
just Cryo.
on top of the classic, what Zekin brings to the table, right? The paint shells, the boom bot, blast packs to close the angle. That classic could be quite a bit stronger. Tour de Force, unfortunately, Death had fallen. That's a weapon down, so a Guardian to be retrieved. We'll see whose hands that one finds its way into. It's 100 Thieves doing a good job. They push forward. They get the early numbers. Now they can back away. Play patient. Play passive. Make X-Set come to them. BCJ, 1 pip away, Rolling Thunder. I don't know if this is the round that we see it unless somebody somewhere, right? Unless this Tour de Force picks up a couple of quick kills or Aaron's able to find something. I think we hang on to that round, or that ult into the next. With 30 seconds on the clock, X-Set. They've got all they could. Around the world, give us the orbs. Now it's all about execution.
That it is. Reasoning queued up here. He goes down below and should get pressured by that, but it's good utility to delay. Rotation's underway and just under 10 seconds on this clock. 1 for 1 initially. Finally, got Tour de Force finding its mark, but still Hiko, he needs to be dislodged in the time.
Nice.
It's just too far gone. Spike is on the floor. Hiko has done enough.
100 Thieves.
Rights his wrongs.
Down to
Finds
8.
3K and his squad 100 Thieves up to the double digits.
A huge anchor there from Hiko. For X-Set, obviously that round, it's a little weird. They do invest, I want to say a good amount, right? Because you look at the buy coming into this next one, and it's still not great, even though they only use that Tour de Force, right? So picking up the Guardian, picking up that Spectre, using that ultimate, and then it just gets kind of flubbed. They also seemed like they weren't really on the same page with the Spike being inside main, and Hiko still being safe underneath that site and was able to fight his way on out. Nobody there for the trade. Spike had fallen, the bodies fell, and at the end of the day, 100 Thieves scoop up a nice little 2-round lead for themselves. And this has been, I mean, a brutal back and forth here on Fracture. Finally, we get an X-Set timeout. We didn't see one on Breeze, didn't need one on Breeze. Now here on Fracture, X-Set are looking for ways to not only close the gap in the round differential here on Fracture, but also ways to close out the series in 2-0 fashion.
They're looking to find those opportunities here as I start to think about not just these post plants, but the executes themselves. Honestly, some of the players that were lacking in that first map have stepped up. Hiko, especially despite some of the misgivings in this game, has been finding himself a really potent anchor, especially in the late round towards the safe site. 100 Thieves is playing a rather passive defense this late on in. We saw a couple rounds where they were willing to get aggressive, but for the most part, they don't give a lot of information over for free. It requires that breach utility. Zek and Satchels to be committed if X-Set want that early space, want that early momentum.
Kind of like a one-way.
They've been failing in that regard, leading to some of these incredibly scrappy late rounds. As this time, it will be a fight for many, but elsewhere, Ethan, the second I say they relented in the aggression, he fights for it. It's a pinch on the north side of the map. What's the reply from X-Set?
Yeah, I love that. In the timeout, 100 Thieves say, hey guys, maybe we're giving up too many of these ult orbs, right? These guys are ulting us quite a lot, so they look to start to fight for it. And while they win the early fight, Zekin falls. The 4 remaining get up here inside A main. BCJ, Rolling Thunder online. Gonna send that one through sands, through rope. But a Viper is picking to make sure that nobody gets onto the site.
Nice.
Taking some type of damage. And JC Thani doing the same in way of kills. But they're traded back. At the end of the day, 3v2 is where we find ourselves. Now cut down to the last one. And BCJ gets a little silly on the ropes. He heads up top to his doom. 100 Thieves find 11.
Well done there at 100 Thieves. That was another one of these big swing rounds. X-Set, like you mentioned, they've been farming up the ults quite frequently, and these BCJ Rolling Thunders have been a critical turn in some of these rounds, but in this one, it's well contained, especially with the fight towards Sands. A good individual performance out of Stani, and just this variability in the aggression has been excellent out of 100T. Fight towards the north side of the map there. Super duper strong. It was only one player completely alone in that regard that Ethan was able to take on down. So now, change up, more of a default for the side of X-Set, as hard as those can be to hold on this map. They'll put more emphasis on this drop control, which I am a fan of. Normally this team is one who is frequently putting pressure in this part of the map. And they do return to that again.
Awesome,
the Thieves find an opener for free. Aaron was playing around within his orb, and Asna just triangulates him, sprays on away through the smoke, finds the frag. So now this is going to be a forced hit towards this B site. But notice the off angle. Chambers here, it's Ethan up top. It's going to be a tough position to clear.
Trademark taken down. Stars to follow, but like you said, the off angle up high, gonna pull the crosshair. Oh, and he sees the headhunter. He knows what's happening. Zekin could go up into towers. Information given on over and stunned up as JC Stoney, but he still finds the frag. The Sheriff not up here in this round. It's the prime gaming flawless for 100 Thieves to push us to map point here on Fracture.
Champions were glowing here for the likes of Ethan. He's had a fantastic performance on this map, and I like to switch up. Perfect round to try out this off angle. His opponent on a lesser buy does well to isolate the kills, with pressure applied up towards the nest as well. And now, point secured. So, exit on their last legs. They're pretty close to some critical ults here, both for Zekin and for Aaron, as well as that Cosmic Divide for a chance at an execute. But apparently, their executes have had to wait towards the late round. Utility play very potent for 100 Thieves, and again, they're going for this early pressure. Both sides indeed, and the stun, it's great, but it's Chamber. Ethan is away. No risk to him.
Meanwhile, you've got Cryo and Def hunting. They're trying to spot the tracks of the defenders out towards the A site. Still not full committing. Once more, it's the around the world for the Ultimates to see what they can get online. Aaron close to the Viper's Pit. We have the Cosmic Divide, and we have aggression.
Ethan goes down.
There's the Viper's Pit. It's low HP, sure, on the Viper. 10 HP is not really where you want to be. It just means you need to tuck yourself a bit more should that pit come down. With that kill out towards the B site, Exeter expecting 100 Thieves to rotate. Instead, they've kept the same three this way, and maybe I spoke too soon as they do look to break this formation and head back towards that B site.
And the closing of the door, that will be heard by the side of X. They can maybe assume that something is up, some kind of rotation towards the other side of the map. It's just Hiko here, and judging by his positioning, he'll likely have to consider
well divided.
Divide soon to come on down. What's Hiko's decision? Does he fight? Molly forward at least. He wants one.
Gravwell gonna pull him back in though and make him. Oh,
Hiko
no, okay.
goes
I
down.
thought they were making the decision for him. Hey, play safe on the other side of the wall. Instead, he's vulnerable. He pushes forward. It's not a timely push. Hiko falls, and Exet still in this one. Looking to find their 9th. Aftershock queued up once that door opened. Flank.
Aaron goes down.
By Bang as Aaron was looking. Trying to make sure that nobody could come this way. So a full crunch here. 100 Thieves, BTJ, Aftershock. Goes from door. Now back into the spawn. Just trying to buy time. And they're doing so
goes
perfectly.
down.
Only 2 remain. The 2 on the flank. And so much has been thrown this way. So many bodies, so much utility. And I don't know what Bang and JC Stoney have for it. They run out of time. You hear the spike ticking. They still have 4 players to worry about. Containment now the name of the game. One body drops. Xset looking to close out the round.
Xset,
That's
9-12.
They find their 9th and they do it near flawlessly.
Really good adaptation once the spike was down. We've seen Xset kind of struggle with stagnation in some of these post plants, but in this round, upon realization of the flank, they know that they have to make a play, and well, that play is to fight on forward, take spacing towards spawn, isolate a duel in that 3 versus 1, and even earlier, as we see in the replay here, great setup. I mean, Def on the Astra, it feels like he's good on any map. Play on Breeze, Ascent, here on Fracture. Even the maps where people don't expect Astra to be as successful, Def finds that success as he was the man to get things started in the right direction. 3 rounds now separate Exit from overtime. A distinct possibility is these will put out the stun, but this time, no Austin to follow it up.
And the Nebula Smoke just getting disrespected, so kind of a bluff from 100 Thieves to try and keep Exet at bay. Zekin to push on through. Now they can reclaim this space. Viper wall out towards the B site. It's one that we've seen basically the entire half for Exet on their attacking side. And it's that same trio out towards A for 100 Thieves. We'll see what or if Exet can find something to draw that rotation once more. Jump peek from Cryo. Nothing to be had on the opposite side. Trademark to make sure nobody push aggressively. Next step, they're looking for their openings, but they're seemingly leaning on this A side. You got 4 players out towards Dish. We got 1 player
nice.
Main, and Cryo just caught out by the flash. 3 players swing. Austin takes him down, nets the kill, and well, the 4 are on the opposite side. They're gonna come out from drop. Ooh, okay. Zekin can go forward, able to find a kill. Nice. Showstopper's there, but one right in response.
Some trades.
Sky high, and BCJ will fall as well. The spike is down. Somebody's got to jump on to retrieve, and they're forced to use the Viper's Pit.
And Xjet's gonna lose it.
You talked about him. He's good on just about every map when he plays the Viper, but can he be good in a 1v3 with 36 HP or 100 Thieves? Have they done enough to get it?
100 Thieves
and yes,
won.
they have, as Asuna will close us out 13-9 on Fracture, and we're headed to split.
Well, split the final destination for this series in 100 Thieves. I mean, to be honest, we showed the scrap in this one. It was incredibly back and forth. Some rough moments from both of these squads, but in the end, the defensive side proving a little bit stronger for 100 Thieves. Map 3 will be split. Before that, a quick break in the analyst desk on the other side.